history of human civilization is the history of a single, recurring question. Who sits on the throne? When the harvest is good, when the rivers flow, when the peace is kept, we do not ask this question. We are content to let the machinery of the state hum in the background. We are content to be passengers, but we are not in a time of peace. We are entering the year of the fire horse. We are entering the games of slaughter. The rivers are drying up. The harvest is uncertain. The machinery of the state is grinding gears and spitting smoke. When the house is on fire, the passengers wake up, and in their panic, they scream for a captain. This is the most dangerous moment in the life cycle of any civilization. It is the moment of the vacuum. The old order has collapsed, but the new order has not yet been born. In this vacuum, two archetypes step forward to claim the mandate of heaven. One is the leader, the other is the tyrant. To the uninitiated eye, in the chaos of the smoke and the flame, they look exactly the same. They both speak with authority. They both promise order. They both wield the sword. They both demand sacrifice. But they are opposites. One is the medicine, the other is the poison. One is the structural integrity of the stone, the other is the devouring hunger of the fire. In 2026, with Saturn entering Aries, the sign of the primal I Am, the world will be flooded with figures claiming to be kings. They will rise in politics. They will rise in the boardroom. They will rise in the culture. They will rise in your local community. They will offer you safety in exchange for your soul. This is a strategic briefing on how to spot the difference. This is a guide to the year of the false king. Because if you follow the leader, you will survive the storm. If you follow the tyrant, you will become the fuel. We must begin by dissecting the physics of the vacuum. Why do tyrants rise in fire years? Because fire creates fear, and fear creates a regression in the human psyche. When we are afraid, we stop thinking like sovereign adults. We start thinking like frightened children. We crave a father. We crave a figure who is large enough to block out the terrifying sun. We crave a figure who says, "I alone can fix it." We crave a figure who absolves us of the burden of thinking. The tyrant knows this. The tyrant feeds on this. The tyrant is not a creator of order. He is the exploiter of chaos. He does not want to put out the fire. He wants to own the fire extinguisher. The leader, conversely, steps into the vacuum with a heavy heart. He does not want the power. He accepts the power because he is the only one capable of holding the roof up. He does not offer to fix it for you. He offers to fix it with you. The difference is subtle, but it is absolute, and it can be detected if you know the metrics. We have identified 5 specific physics tests to apply to any authority figure in 2026. These are not moral judgments. They are mechanical observations of energy flow. Test 1. The direction of the flow, gravity versus radiation. The first test is energetic. Look at the flow of resources, credit, and vitality. The leader acts as a gravity well for responsibility, but a radiator for credit. When the storm hits, the leader stands at the front. He absorbs the blow. He takes the blame. He shields the tribe. But when the victory is won, he radiates the credit outwards. He says, "We did this." He makes the people feel strong. The leader is the foundation. The foundation bears the weight of the house. The foundation is invisible, silent, and heavy. It suffers the pressure so that the people inside can sleep. The tyrant acts as a gravity well for credit and a radiator for blame. When the victory is won, he says, "I did this." When the storm hits, he pushes others in front of him. He says, "They failed me. The generals failed. The people failed." The tyrant is not the foundation. He is the roof that demands the walls support him, and if the walls crack, he blames the stone. In 2026, watch the CEO who blames the market for the layoffs while taking the bonus. Watch the politician who blames the voters for the loss. Watch the influencer who blames the algorithm for the decline. This is the signature of the false king. The false king eats his children to stay young. The true king ages so his children can grow. Test 2. The reaction to Dissent, the mirror versus the sword. The fire horse brings volatility. Volatility means mistakes will be made. The path forward is not clear. The leader knows he is fallible. He knows that his perspective is limited. Therefore, the leader views Dissent as sensor data. When someone disagrees with the leader, he leans in. He asks, "What do you see that I do not?" He treats the dissenter as an external eye, a valuable asset that expands his peripheral vision. He does not have to agree, but he protects the mechanism of dissent because he knows that without it, he is flying blind. The tyrant views dissent as heresy. To the tyrant, his authority is not based on competence, it is based on the illusion of infallibility. He is God, and God cannot be wrong. Therefore, any disagreement is not an intellectual challenge, it is an existential threat. It pierces the bubble of his delusion. In 2026, Saturn in Aries creates a my way or the highway energy. The tyrant will purge the competent. He will fire the messenger. He will surround himself with mirrors, courtiers who only reflect his own face back to him. If you see an organization where the inner circle never disagrees with the chief, run. That is not a kingdom. It is a suicide pact. The tyrant blinds himself to preserve his ego, and eventually, he will drive the entire bus off a cliff because he refused to listen to the passenger who saw the curve. Test 3. The relationship to time. The architect versus the arsonist. This is the most critical test for the prescient observer. You must look at the time horizon. The leader serves the future. He makes decisions that may be unpopular today or painful today, but that ensure the survival of the tribe in 10 years or 60 years. He plants trees under whose shade he will never sit. He builds stone walls that take a lifetime to finish. The leader is Saturnian. He respects the laws of compound interest, of endurance, of legacy. He is boring. He is slow. The tyrant serves the now. He is possessed by the fire horse. He needs the immediate dopamine hit of adulation. He needs the quarterly number to go up. He needs the pole number to spike. Therefore, the tyrant cannibalizes the future to feed the present. He prints the money to pay for the party today, knowing it will cause hyperinflation tomorrow. He starts the war to rally the base today, knowing it will destroy the nation tomorrow. He sells the seed corn to buy fireworks. In 2026, you will see leaders offering instant solutions. They will promise to fix the economy, the border, and the culture overnight. They will offer you magic. Do not believe in magic. Magic is simply borrowing energy from the future at usurious interest rates. The true leader will offer you blood, toil, tears, and sweat. He will tell you that the road is long. He will tell you that the party is over and we must pay the bill. The tyrant tells you what you want to hear. The leader tells you what you need to hear. The tyrant is a seducer. The leader is a father. Test 4. The relationship to law, the code versus the will. Saturn is the planet of law, not just the laws of the state, but the laws of physics, the laws of cause and effect. The leader submits himself to the law. He believes that the law is above the king. He follows the same rules he imposes on the lowest peasant. If the ration is cut, the king eats less too. If the curfew is set, the king stays home too. This submission creates trust. The people follow the leader because they see that he is also a follower of something higher: the truth, the constitution, the code. The tyrant believes he is the law. He believes that the rules are for the little people. He is the exception. This is the shadow side of Ares, the sovereign individual gone malignant. I do what I want. The tyrant changes the rules in the middle of the game. He rewrites the past. He applies the law selectively to his enemies while exempting his friends. In the year of the false king, you will see a massive erosion of the rule of law. You will see rule by decree. Watch carefully. Does the leader suffer? Does the leader sacrifice? Or does the leader luxuriate while preaching austerity? The false king wears a mask of Saturn, discipline, but lives the life of Jupiter, excess. He forbids you to eat meat while he dines on steak. He forbids you to travel while he flies private. This hypocrisy is the crack in the foundation that eventually brings the tower down. Test 5. The texture of the silence. Finally, look at the atmosphere around the man. When a true leader enters a room, the silence is attentive. It is the silence of respect. People straighten up because they want to be ready to serve. There is a calmness, a solidity. The nervous system relaxes because dad is home. When a tyrant enters a room, the silence is terrified. It is the silence of the prey freezing so the predator does not see them. People straighten up because they are afraid to be a target. The nervous system spikes. There is a static in the air. Trust your gut. We are animals. We evolved to smell predators. The fire horse amplifies the smell of the tyrant. It smells like sulfur. It smells like ozone. It smells like anxiety. If you feel drained, small, and anxious in the presence of a leader, you are in the presence of a vampire. The leader amplifies your energy. The tyrant drains it. We must address the elephant in the digital room. In 2026, the most powerful tyrant is not a human being. It is the algorithm. We have built a system of governance that has no face, no soul, and no accountability. The algorithm decides who speaks. The algorithm decides who makes money. The algorithm decides what is true. The algorithm fits all the criteria of the tyrant. It takes all the credit, engagement, and accepts no blame. It's just a glitch. It deletes dissent, deplatforming. It serves the now, maximizing engagement seconds at the expense of the future, destroying the attention span and mental health of the species. It is above the law, Section 230. It creates a texture of anxiety, doom scrolling. In 2026, the human tyrants are merely avatars of the algorithm. They are the ones who have learned to hack the machine. They speak in sound bites. They traffic in outrage. They are shaped by the metrics of the digital cage. The true leader in 2026 is often invisible to the algorithm. He is the gray man. He builds offline. He builds in the dark. He is not viral because virtue does not go viral. Vice goes viral. Now we must do the hardest part. We must turn the mirror on you. Why do tyrants rise? They do not fall from the sky. They are lifted up by the crowd. We choose the tyrant. We choose him because we are tired. We choose him because we are scared. We choose him because freedom is heavy. To be free means you are responsible for your own failure. If you starve, it is your fault. If you fail, it is your fault. This is a crushing weight. The tyrant offers a bargain. Give me your freedom, and I will take away your responsibility. It is not your fault you are poor. It is the immigrant's fault. It is not your fault you are unhappy. It is the rich man's fault. It is not your fault you are sick. It is the system's fault. He gives you a scapegoat. He validates your resentment. He tells you that you are a victim and that he is your avenger. In a fire horse year, the collective ego is inflamed. We feel slighted. We feel angry. We want revenge. The tyrant is the avatar of our collective shadow. He acts out the violence we are too polite to commit ourselves. We love him because he is the worst part of us, allowed to run wild. The leader offers no such comfort. The leader holds up a mirror and says, "Fix your bed, fix your family, fix your mind. The problem is in you. Who votes for that? Who clicks like on that?" In the year of the false king, the masses will choose Barabbas. They will choose the revolutionary, the fighter, the arsonist. They will crucify the carpenter who suggests that the kingdom is within. This is the tragedy of democracy in a cycle of chaos. The people vote for their own executioner because he promises to kill the people they hate. So, what is the strategy? If the world is filled with false kings and the masses are cheering for them, what do? You do not wait for a savior. You do not try to save the macro world. You become the king of the micro domain. Saturn in Aries is the mandate of self-governance. If you cannot find a leader worthy of following, you must become that leader for your own circle. You must apply the 5 tests to yourself. Check your flow. Are you absorbing responsibility for your family? Or are you blaming them? Are you the roof or the load? Check your dissent. Do you allow your children, your spouse, your employees to question you? Or do you rage when challenged? Check your time. Are you building for the next generation, or are you spending your capital on immediate pleasure? Check your law. Do you hold yourself to a higher standard than you hold others? Do you wake up earlier? Do you work harder? Check your silence. Is your home a place of peace or a place of walking on eggshells? The only way to defeat the tyrant is to make him irrelevant. The tyrant relies on dependency. He needs you to need him. He needs you to need his ration card, his police force, his narrative. If you are a sovereign, if you have your own heavy assets, as we discussed in The Death of Paper, if you have your own analog network, as we discussed in Hybridization, if you have your own moral code, then the tyrant has no hooks in you. You become a high trust node in a low trust world. People will naturally gravitate toward you. They are starving for the Saturnine stability. They are starving for the truth. You will not be famous. You will not be on the news. You will be the hidden king. And this is how civilization survives. Not by the man on the white horse at the top of the pyramid, but by the thousands of hidden kings holding up the stones at the bottom. Here is the good news. The physics of the tyrant are unsustainable. Fire burns hot, but it burns fast. The tyrant consumes his own base. He purges his own experts. He destroys his own economy. Entropy always wins against the false structure. The fire horse year is a flashover. It is violent, but it is brief. The tyrant rises like a rocket and explodes like a rocket. The leader is stone. Stone does not rise. Stone sits. Stone endures. When the fire burns out, the stone is still there. In 2026, you will see many rockets. You will see idols rise and fall in the span of months. Do not attach your cart to a rocket. Anchor yourself to the stone. The year of the false king is a test. It is a test of your discernment. Can you see past the charisma? Can you see past the fear? Can you see the wolf in the shepherd's clothing? If you can, you pass the gate. You enter the next cycle not as a serf, but as a master. The spiral tightens. The mask slips. The throne is empty. Who will sit on it? That is up to you. This is Prescient. We are watching. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Otherwise, we may never see each other again. See you again soon, dear viewer.